was a trial should have never been brought, but if we had a jury, it would have been fair, at least, even if it was a somewhat negative jury, because no negative jury was brought against me. But this judge will, because this judge is a very partisan judge, with a person who's very partisan sitting alongside of him, perhaps even much more partisan than he is. So we are doing very well. The facts are speaking very loud. He's a totally discredited witness, and you haven't seen anything yet. This goes on for a long time, but he's a totally discredited witness.
That was Donald Trump violating the gag order imposed on him yet again in the New York Attorney General civil fraud case. And folks, massive consequences could be following. I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Judge Arthur Engoron in the New York Attorney General civil fraud case just tore into Donald Trump after yet another violation of the gag order imposed upon Trump back on October 3rd when Donald Trump threatened Judge Engoron's law clerk. Donald Trump was found in violation of that gag order just 5 days ago after a MeidasTouch report exposed that while Donald Trump removed threatening posts about Judge Engoron's law clerk from his social media platform, Trump kept it up on his campaign website for 17 days. Ron Filipkowski, our editor-in-chief, exposed it. On October 20th, Trump was found in violation of the gag order. He was fined $5,000. Christopher Kise, Donald Trump's lawyer, said this was just a mistake, Your Honor. The campaign left it up. We didn't mean to do it. We're sorry. Based on that representation, Judge Engoron did not imprison Donald Trump, but Judge Engoron stated that any future violations could be met with imprisonment. Well, the future violation just happened. Judge Engoron has told Donald Trump's lawyer that he is now thinking about what the remedy could be. Trump's lawyers trying to come up with excuses saying, oh, Donald Trump was just talking about Michael Cohen. He wasn't talking about the law clerk. Remember, Judge Engoron says, look, you want to threaten me? It's inappropriate. You could threaten me. You want to threaten the New York Attorney General? Whatever. You come after my law clerk, though, and my court staff. I am very protective over my court staff, is what Judge Engoron said. And Donald Trump just violated that again, going after Judge Engoron's court staff. Specifically, in the video I showed you, that started this video, the clip I showed you, Donald Trump stated the following, quote, referring to the trial, the New York Attorney General civil fraud trial for his fraudulent valuations, Trump said, quote, it would have been fair at least because no negative jury would vote against me. But this judge will, because this judge is a very partisan judge with a person who's very partisan sitting alongside, perhaps even much more partisan than he is. And Donald Trump was clearly referring to Judge Engoron's law clerk, saying that she is more partisan than he is. But Christopher Kise, Donald Trump's lawyer, said, no, Trump was referring to Michael Cohen and saying that Michael Cohen is very partisan. But Judge Engoron is not buying it. Judge Engoron stated the following after Donald Trump made those remarks. Trump made those remarks, by the way, during a morning recess. So during the break, Donald Trump goes out. He threatens the judge. He threatens the law clerk. He threatens the witness, Michael Cohen. That's the routine that Donald Trump does when he shows up. Then he returned back in. Judge Engoron learned about what Donald Trump did. And here's what Judge Engoron said, quote, I am very protective of my staff, as I should be. I don't want anybody killed. And Judge Engoron stated that he will now be taking under advisement what happened. And Judge Engoron specifically told Christopher Kise and Donald Trump, I warned you both back on October 20th that a future violation would be taken very seriously, including but not limited to imprisonment. I will now consider what the remedy will be for this additional gag order violation. And again, I want to give a hat tip to the editor-in-chief here as well of MeidasTouch.com, Ron Filipkowski, for breaking that story on October 19th, which led to an order showing that Donald Trump, or stating that Donald Trump, was was in violation of the October 3rd gag order. Ron Filipkowski, as I noted before, identified that Donald Trump did not remove the threatening posts about the judge's law clerk from his campaign website. Trump's lawyer tried to say, oh, it was just my campaign website. That was a violation of the gag order that was imposed on October 3rd when Donald Trump made the threats, a gag order that Donald Trump and his lawyers agreed to take down those posts. They kept it up on the campaign website. Here, by the way, is the order that Judge Engoron issued on October 20th. And before reading you the key portion of this order, again, this is why when I say patreon.com/MeidasTouch, and if you're able to support the independent journalism that's being done at MeidasTouch.com is so important, you can see the impact that is taking place here. Oh, by the way, before showing you the order, here is Donald Trump Jr. attacking MeidasTouch right here, an absolute disgrace. And they try to claim that MeidasTouch is giving Judge Engoron orders, and they try to say a Democrat PAC MeidasTouch. We're not a PAC. We are a media company, and we're certainly not giving Judge Engoron his orders. We are reporting on violations of the gag order that Donald Trump agreed to that was imposed upon him. You can't threaten the judge's law clerk. That abhorrent conduct requires there to be serious ramifications. But we got Don Jr. attacking us. Here is Donald Trump attacking us on one of his social media posts as well, referring to MeidasTouch. And again, that's why if you can support this network and the independent journalism, we don't have outside investors here at the MeidasTouch Network. Go to patreon.com/MeidasTouch now, patreon.com/MeidasTouch. But here was Judge Engoron's order from October 20th. He says, in the current overheated climate, incendiary untruths can, and in some cases already have, led to serious physical harm and worse. Donald Trump has received ample warning from this court as to the possible repercussions of violating the gag order. He specifically acknowledged that he understood and would abide by it accordingly. Issuing yet another warning is no longer appropriate. This court is way beyond the warning stage. Given defendant's position that the violation was inadvertent, and given that it is a first-time violation, this court will impose a nominal fine, $5,000 payable to the New York Lawyers Fund for client protection within 10 days of the date of this order. Make no mistake, future violations, whether intentional or unintentional, will subject the violator to far more severe sanctions, which may include, but are not limited to, steeper financial penalties, holding Donald Trump in contempt of court, and possibly imprisoning him pursuant to New York Judiciary Law, Section 753. So I take you at your word, Judge Engoron, where you say, make no mistake. So I'm making no mistake here. Donald Trump clearly violated the gag order again that was imposed on him on October 30th. MeidasTouch.com called it out, and a gag order violation was found on October 20th. Another gag order violation just took place on October 25th. Folks, Donald Trump is a complete and utter menace. And by the way, in terms of the other stuff that Donald Trump was saying and doing at court, this is Donald Trump when he arrived at court, ranting and raving again like a lunatic that Mar-a-Lago is valued at. It's one of the most valuable properties, and the judge valued it less, and the judge doesn't know what he's doing. Here, play this clip.
They had Mar-a-Lago valued at $18 million, the Attorney General, with the judge, and working in coordination with the judge, and it's worth approximately 50 to 100 times that amount. This is a witch hunt. It's just a bad trial, very unfair trial. The only time the statute's ever been used for this is this. This is the statute that doesn't give you a jury, doesn't give you anything. It's a pure political witch hunt.
Look, folks, at the end of the day, Donald Trump, Eric, Don Jr., Alan Weisselberg, McConney, they've all had their depositions taken. And in their depositions, they all go, oh, we don't know what our statement of financial conditions state, and we don't know what generally accepted accounting principles are. I, for one, am excited to have all of them testify at this civil fraud trial. And I think Donald Trump's too cowardly to even testify. But we will see if he does testify in the coming weeks. And we will, of course, keep you posted of that. But ultimately, you want to talk about the valuation of Mar-a-Lago, the valuation of 40 Wall Street. There are objective criteria for making the valuations. What Judge Engoron did was looked at what were the appraisers' valuations, what was Donald Trump saying the properties were valued at, and when Donald Trump would try to lower the valuations because he wanted to pay less taxes, and he would make statements under penalty of perjury stating the same, that was an undisputed fact that Judge Engoron relied upon. So yes, Donald Trump wanted to pay less property taxes, get more favorable loans, get more favorable deals with insurers based by manipulating the assets, and all this stuff is documented. All this stuff is on spreadsheets and emails and notations, and there's a set of objective, data-driven criteria for all of this. But folks, while the case itself takes place, Donald Trump continues to violate the gag order. We will keep you posted when Judge Engoron makes a final determination on what the penalty is going to be. But Donald Trump's lawyer, Christopher Kise, arguing that Donald Trump was talking about Michael Cohen and not about Judge Engoron's law clerk, is totally bogus. Christopher Kise made the prior argument excuse, oh, it was the campaign. It was the campaign that left it up, and it wasn't our fault. Well, you keep making these excuses over and over again. You've lost all credibility. The proverbial ball is in Judge Engoron's clerk. And again, patreon.com/MeidasTouch. Check it out now. There's a reason why Donald Trump, Don Jr. are going after MeidasTouch, the fastest growing independent media network in the world. Have a great day. We'll keep you posted.
At MeidasTouch, we are unapologetically pro-democracy, and we demand justice and accountability. That's why we're spreading our message to Convict 45. That's right, gear up right now with your Convict 45 tees and pins at store.MeidasTouch.com. That's store.MeidasTouch.com.